It's time to rewire your mind. Welcome to the Hayden Russo Show, the show that provides you with inspiration to help you succeed in life. Here's your host, Hayden Russo.
Hello. Hello there. I like how that there sounds. Hello there. I gotta tell you, I miss you guys. It's been a real long week. Sometimes life, when it comes at you with no warning, no understanding, and you just have to just live and begin to take control of the situation and what's going on around you, and begin to rebuild yourself, rebuild your mind, and somewhat take control of your life. So today, most of the topic, I'll be talking directly to the men. I think it's time that we have a conversation amongst each other, and everyone else is welcome to listen in as we engage in an honest conversation. But before you can rebuild anything, you have to truly understand what is going on. And what I mean by that is you have to begin to understand what's going on in your mind. This is not just a left brain or right brain situation. Since the 1970s, men graduating from college have continued decline at a rapid rate. Women are beginning to dominate, not only graduating, but women are beginning to dominate the workforce. And during the time when we were having a huge amount of layoffs, and being the analyst that I am, as God continued to bless me with work and I continue to survive and persevere and toughen up to make it to this point where we are today, you know, I had to begin to know what it is that I'm doing and understand how my mind works. And as I learned about the mind and how it works, I began to understand in life that you have a fixed mindset, and yet you also have a growth mindset. And until you begin to learn what these things are, you will live life in just an array of just thinking about women, making decisions with little man instead of big man, which sits up top. Okay? We have to stop making decisions based on what women can do for us or how the woman look, and begin to change our mindset, because God is going to give us at least 3 good dogs and 3 good women and 3 good friends to come through in our life. So we have to begin to take life seriously. We have to begin to take back our life and take back our mind. And we have to begin to understand that life is not promised to us tomorrow. We must begin to take advantage of all of our opportunities today. And Dave, if you wouldn't mind going into that first clip for me, if you have it, I greatly appreciate it. Taking back our mind is not going to be a simple thing, because the way that I think now is not the same that I thought 2 years ago, is not the same that I thought 5 years ago, and it's definitely not the same mindset that I had 10 years ago. Okay? But as I sit here today in this chair with you guys, as I experience a life of wonderful joy with the family and success. Let me explain what this decade has been to me. I've lost my mother and my father. And I have continued to move forward. I've gone bankrupt twice. And I've continued to move forward. I have had many additional setbacks. I've had many business failures. I've had people to take advantage of me because what I didn't know. I had just a tremendous amount of things to continually happen to me. And I didn't know why. And if you're on your third marriage, guys, if you're on your third marriage and you're still experiencing the same problems with the third woman, you have to begin to sit back and be honest with yourself, because you tried it with 3 different women and God told you to try one. Okay? And God also told you not to get a divorce. Now, I've used that word a couple times in my lifetime. Not proud of it. Because sometimes you just want to run away for whatever circumstance or whatever is going on. But I think that you have to continue to fight. You have to continue to look within. You have to change your mindset about your marriage, about your mate, the person that you said that you want to spend the rest of your life with. You have to begin to look and say, okay, what is it that I come to accomplish in a marriage? It's not about no longer me. It's not no longer about her. It's about me and her. It's about us balancing things. Okay? But before I get into a typical marriage, I just want to say, when I first got into a serious relationship with my wife, I was one of those wild dogs that was sowing his oats everywhere. I was everywhere, I was literally across the board. But as the business began to grow and evolve, the wife would make some comments and some statements that was very valid. But because I was thinking like a little boy, because I had a immature mindset, I didn't value at that time. I didn't value what she was giving to me because I looked at it as she was a woman. So guys, when you're thinking, you're saying that the reason that it was more women in the workplace during the recession because the women make less. No. I'd rather have more women around me than men when it comes to work ethic, because right now, this is why I'm having this conversation with you guys, because right now we're not living up to our responsibility and women are already outliving us. Okay. So if we don't begin to take control of our mind, we'll never be able to catch up with the women and begin to outlive them. We'll never be able to outsmart them. Okay. I don't think that we're going to be smarter than women anytime soon, but I think that we have the capacity to grow our minds, but we can never grow our minds until we start understanding our minds. And we can never understand our mind until we begin to take our life seriously, because life is not promised to us tomorrow. And Dave, if you wouldn't mind going into this clip, we'll get into this conversation and then we'll re-engage after this clip.
Good afternoon. As a playologist, I'd like to encourage you all to look deeper, to find that spark of creativity that lies within us all, and let it out. I want you to imagine for a moment that you're dead. It's not the most inspiring way to start a talk, I know. You follow that white light through, and you come out into a warehouse, an empty hangar, and on the ground in front of you are thousands of Polaroid photographs, lined up one after the other in a row. Each photograph represents a day of your life, a life just ended. And now you walk. You walk along those photographs, looking at the various memories. You remember your first day at school. I'm not too sure I quite understood school. I think I was emigrating. So you walk on, and you walk past your first kiss. This one isn't me, by the way. This is a stock image. I didn't hire a photographer to hide in the trees to record my first kiss. I wish I had. So you walk past all these big days, the day you graduated university, the day you got married. You remember all these big days as you walk along these rows. And even there'll be some memories that you walk past each day that you remember. There'll be small things. Like the day your 8-year-old son and his friend took your brand new Converse runners and filled them with mashed banana for a joke. You know? These days will stand out to you. And on you walk. My point is this. Each photograph on the floor in front of you is a unique day. The photograph is the thing that happened on that day that was different to every other day of your life. Different from before and different from after. It was the new thing that you learned, the new experience that you had. And in the early years, as a child or a teenager, the pictures are quite interesting. Because when you're young, you're adventurous, you flirt with risk. But I want you to think about those rows that represent your late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. The days that become a routine, days slipping into weeks, into months, into years. You do the same thing every day. You get up, you go to school or college, you work, you come home, you sit on the TV. These days, think about the photographs and how many of those photographs are black. Blank, because you didn't do anything that day that was unique, that you had never ever done before. Think of the rows and rows of photographs as you walk along that are completely blank. A life that could have been full of all sorts of new experiences, new skills, new people, new places, but it was just a routine life. A life lost to the routine. It's a little bit depressing, isn't it? And such are the thoughts of a man facing his midlife crisis. This year I turned 40. Now I know I don't look it. I drink the blood of virgin unicorns every morning at dawn. But nevertheless, half my life is potentially over. Now, at the same time, while I'm having my midlife crisis, my father, who is a healthy 73, he's having his, I guess you could call it his end-of-life crisis. It's the same as mine, except he's more concerned with things like when the day does actually come, how many fireworks I'm going to be able to sneak into his coffin before it's sealed for the crematorium. Because he thinks this will be great fun. He's that kind of guy. So we got talking about time last Christmas. And he was having a conversation with me that started with, I remember being 65 and now I'm 73. I have no idea where the last 8 years have gone. He said that time seemed to be moving much faster now that he was older, and I started to laugh. I thought, what? You're blissfully retired. All you do every day is drink coffee and do some gardening. Surely your days stretch out in front of you slowly and time drags, but apparently not. He said that no, time slips past faster and faster. The less you do, oddly, the faster time passes. I mean, for most of us, time is a mental construct, really. You look back on a week or a month or a year that just passed, and really it's your memories that you're using to decide how effective that time was. So I wondered if that was
Dave,
true,
you
if my
can cut
father
that,
was
Dave.
right.
Everybody has a problem. It doesn't matter if you're young, if you're in middle age, if you're an older individual or a smarter individual, I would like to say. You have to get serious about your life. Everybody has a problem. But it's the people that deal with the problem that are the successful people. When you look at someone that has a mansion, it wasn't because he did anything more special than you or he had some special gift. God gave us all genies. Okay? It's what you ask it for. Okay? So stop wasting your time and letting years and days and months go by and you do nothing. Okay? Look, don't tell me that you don't have time. Because I have plenty of friends. Well, look, I have one friend that has a Tesla for him, a Tesla for his wife, and a Tesla for his mistress. Do you understand how much time it takes to take care of two women? Two different households. Look, I know I've seen that show where you have 5 wives. Look, it's capable. You're capable of doing it, but the consumption, there's no way that you could equally divide the time into 2 women. There's no way. So we have to begin to ask ourselves, okay, is hanging out with the boys improving my life? Okay? The problem is with us is we want to have homeboys so that we can have yes mans and people to hang out with. I don't want someone just to hang out with. If I have spent 3 hours with you and I've learned nothing, I am wasting my time. Stop procrastinating with your time. Stop procrastinating with your life. Begin to take control and to learn how to control your mind. Thereby will help you control your life. Okay? You can't continue to do the same thing. Watch sports. Okay? Talk with the homeboys. And in some cases, we hang out with our homeboys more than we hang out with our significant other. Okay? And our homeboys can't do anything for us when we roll over 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry. How is that helping your mind? How is it helping your mind that you have a wife and 2 mistresses? Okay, yes, you can take care of them. Whoop-de-doo. What about energy consumption? What about you using your mind to play 3 different people as opposed to just being yourself and giving yourself the opportunity to live your life to the greatest potential? Life is not promised to us. It can be taken from us at any time. Dave, if you wouldn't mind getting into this next clip, I would greatly appreciate it.
I left for Afghanistan, where we talked about what it would be like if I didn't come back, where we talked about what it would be like if I lost a limb, where we talked about what it would be like if I were injured in any way at all. We ordered a couple cocktails, which I will later be very glad that I ordered. And we cheersed, and we started to make plans the way only a military family can make plans when your loved one is home safe. And he looked at me and he said, let's go watch the marathon. And I said, let's do it. Let's do it, absolutely. We crossed onto Boylston Street, and bam, we heard a loud bang. And next thing we knew, we were on the sidewalk. I was looking down at a waterfall of blood that used to be my left foot, my husband covered in shrapnel. And I thought 2 things. Number 1, there is not a single man on this planet that I would rather be lying next to in this moment. And 2, this is it. And just when we started to say the things that only married people can say in a time like this, Boston's bravest came and swooped me up and took me to the nearest hospital. And there I was, lying there. No longer the bronzed, beautiful ballroom dancer, bedazzled, ready to perform. I was cut up, shredded up, stapled back together, sewn up, glue. No plastics saw me, let me tell you. I lost 4 inches of hair. I looked like a troll doll. I was covered in other people's fabric, other people's blood, and it was a mess. And I had visitors. I had visitors with mouths, and those mouths had opinions.
You know, the first thing that we have to do in the process of taking back control of our mind, our thought, and thereby taking control of our life, we have to begin to protect our mind from the people that's giving us bad information. And we'll talk about this more when we come back after the break. But we just got to begin to understand that when we're trying to grow, we can no longer grow with the individuals that got us into the situation where we currently are in today. It's time to take a short break. We'll be back with more right after this.
This segment of the show was sponsored by Shakira Roll at ERA Home Run Real Estate. Buy, sell, or rent, I can help the entire world. Need assistance with down payment? No problem. Call Shakira Roll today at 561-312-2641 or email her at info@rollhome.com. That's info@rollehome.com. Visit her website at www.rollhome.com. That's www.rollehome.com.
Who is this young kid growing up, par for life, experiencing all of the tough battles, watching people thrown off buildings as a little boy, violence surrounding him? Failure is not an option. You may find it at Barnes & Noble. Failure is not an option. A book that is here to inspire you. Car accident? Dents or scratches? Has the Florida sun faded your ride? Call High Gloss Paint and Body. Their service is fast and reliable. High Gloss Auto Paint and Body will deal with your insurance company, taking all the load off your shoulders. I know what that can be like. Call them today, 561-508-4220. They're located on 2550 Windsor Avenue, Suite A, West Palm Beach, Florida. You tell High Gloss that Hayden Russo sent you. Congratulations on the purchase of your brand new home. And we couldn't be happier for you. But as soon as you moved in, you began to notice during the summer months, the attic began to get extremely hot, causing your home to get warm, making it uncomfortable. Plus, your electric bill began to rise, skyrocketing out of sight, costing you more money. I have a solution for you. Solaro Energy. Solaro Energy has a variety of products. Solar Shield for the attic, solar attic fans to take hot air out of the attic, plus Solar Day to bring in light into any area in your home, all costing you no additional money. Call Solaro Energy today at 888-355-5SUN or visit their website, solaroenergy.com. Solaro Energy, providing all of your future solar power energy.
And now, more of the Hayden Russo Show on TalkZone.com. Back to Hayden Russo.
Ooh. 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 I'm feeling that, Dave. I'm feeling that. Thank you. But getting right back into the conversation, guys, look. When you get into a serious relationship with a woman and you consummate that into one, whether it's a marriage or whether you were one, because I'm going to tell you, to the women out there, a man has no separation when it comes to defending his woman. He would defend you as his wife no different than he would defend you as his girlfriend or mate or however you want to classify each other. Okay? All right. So let's begin to take control of our minds. Let's begin to change our mindset, guys. Okay? Because although women are smarter than us, we have more focus. We have more drive. We have our vision is more far outreaching. But a woman just have can open up 20 files at one time and they're running, where we can drive on one and stay focused on it until we get totally committed. But none of that is going to change until we begin to change our surroundings, until we begin to change the people that we hang with, until we begin to look up instead of looking down. What I mean by that is being positive instead of being negative, because when you look being negative, you're looking down. And when you're being positive, you're looking up. So we must begin to rebuild our mind. We must begin to rededicate ourselves to investing time in us and doing the things not for short-term pleasure, but for long-term gains. Hey, Dave, if you wouldn't mind going to that clip, I would greatly appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. This is Wally Waiter's Boca Visionary Mentor. And your word for today is this. Your biggest victories often come from facing your deepest fears. What are you afraid of today? No, really, what are you afraid of? What is that daunting challenge that lies in front of you? What is it that terrifies you, that keeps you up at night? Is it a relationship problem? Is your business suffering? Are you dealing with health issues? Or are you merely faced with an event that will change your life forever? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Stand up and face it. The victory is yours. And here's one thing that I learned, that, you know what? We all face challenges in life, but they do not last forever. This is just a season. If you feel like you're pressed down right now, that the entire world is coming against you, that no matter what you do, if you turn left, things go wrong. If you turn right, things go wrong. It just doesn't matter. You feel defeated right now. Here's my word of encouragement. Encouragement for you. Stay strong. Be bold. Press on, because the victory is yours. And when you get through this, you'll be better than ever. That's my word for you today. This is Wally Waiter's Boca Visionary.
You know, I couldn't have said it any better. Stay strong, be bold, and press on. We have to begin to understand that the only way out of this situation is to begin to take control of our mind, begin to rewire our mind. How do we do that, Hayden? We begin to learn how to accelerate our learning. We begin to get the people that gets those negative seeds in our mind, because as I explained to you on numerous occasions, Dave, I'm getting a small feedback. As I mentioned to you guys on numerous occasions, that our mind is the most powerful thing on this planet. And the way that we take control of our mind is not to listen to the naysayers. It's not to give up. It's to begin to change the mindset into a learning attitude, into a learning function, into a learning mode. And what do you mean by that, Hayden? There's no right and no wrong. I can't fail. Failure is not an option to me, because it doesn't exist in my vocabulary, because all I do is learn. Everything that I go through, all I want to do is learn from the situation. If I get upset with my wife, I don't want to go in the doghouse. I want to go into my wife and say, darling, help me understand your point of view so that I can learn to be a better husband. I don't want to get into this attitude where, okay, you don't speak to me, I won't speak to you for a day or two just because you didn't lift the seat up, or you didn't cook the hamburger the way that I wanted it, or you didn't cook shrimp for me, or you only gave me sex 2 times this month. Well, whoa. Hold on, wait a minute. Now, if that's your girlfriend that's giving it to you like that 2 times a month, because I just want to keep it clear with you, right? you might have some problem. But if you married and getting it 2 times a month, I hope you 70. Because 2 times a month ain't going to get you nowhere, but in some trouble. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but you know, I did go to the doctor and ask him for some advice for the week. And he said if you did it 4 times a week, it's bad for your health. It came from the doctor for real. Okay? So 3 is not too far. Okay, we can live with 2. And if I'm saying that for every day, that's 14 times. That's 5 to 14 times a week. There's no way 2 times a month would be acceptable anyway. But getting back to the topic, accelerate your learning. Begin investing the time into you. Begin reading books. Begin taking the baby steps. If you're not a reader, start reading a sentence a day. Then read 2 sentences a day. Then read 3 sentences a day. Stop trying to take it all in chunks. Stop trying to eat an elephant whole. Bite it 1 bite at a time. Chop the tree 5 times a day. Don't try to do it 20 times. It'll be too much load on you. But chopping it 5 times a day, the tree will come down a little bit quicker. Okay? But begin to take control of letting people feed you bad information. Stop letting people feed you bad information. And Dave, if you wouldn't mind going into that next clip, I would greatly appreciate it.
That when people say things and do things, it comes from a place of love in a time of trauma. Yet I am here on this stage to argue differently. I think it comes from a place deeper than love. I think it comes from a place of fear. Fear of the truth. We spend our entire car ride after we get that call weaving together the perfect amount of sentences that will make the pain go away. But our fear of the truth is that no matter how many sentences we weave together, nothing will make the pain go away. I've heard it all. My leg never grew back. Fear of this awful truth can make us say some pretty awful things. In panic mode, when you see your friend mangled, or someone who shall remain nameless looks at you and says, well, at least you still have a pretty face. I immediately respond with, well, since we're on this subject, my brain and my ass are just as stunning. Thank you.
My brain is sharp. I'm getting a feedback, Dave, please. My brain is sharp. Now, I won't speak on the second half of that, but just the way the women think that their ass is fine is the way that we think that we want to get in their ass, right? So you guys got to change your mindset, because you have to begin to spend the time thinking not about how you could sleep with every woman, how you can take advantage of and be the first one to say that you're using 15 to 20% of your mind. Okay? Be the first one to say that you were able to come from a poor community and you came back and you've been able to give $50 to $100 million or $500 million, and how you've been able to change the lives of the people around you. Begin taking baby steps to go after your goal, to go after your dreams. But the one thing that I began learning is that it's not that the people don't want to go after their dreams. The 2 things that are holding them back is, number 1 is procrastination, and number 2 is not knowing what to do. And the way to get past your procrastination is to begin to learn and understand procrastination and then begin to do something about it. So let's take care of part 1 of this equation. Dave, if you wouldn't mind going into that clip, I would greatly appreciate it.
And a couple of years ago, I decided to write about procrastination. My behavior has always perplexed the non-procrastinators around me, and I wanted to explain to the non-procrastinators of the world what goes on in the heads of procrastinators and why we are the way we are. Now, I had a hypothesis that the brains of procrastinators were actually different than the brains of other people. And to test this, I found an MRI lab that actually let me scan both my brain and the brain of a proven non-procrastinator, so I could compare them, and I actually brought them here to show you today, and I want you to take a look carefully to see if you can notice a difference. And I know that if you're not a trained brain expert, it's not that obvious, but just take a look, okay? So here's the brain of a non-procrastinator. Now, here's my brain. There is a difference. Both brains have a rational decision maker in them, but the procrastinator's brain also has an instant gratification monkey. Now, what does this mean for the procrastinator? Well, it means everything's fine until this happens. So the rational decision maker will make the rational decision to do something productive, but the monkey doesn't like that plan. So he actually takes the wheel, and he says, actually, let's read the entire Wikipedia page of the Nancy Kerrigan-Tanya Harding scandal, because I just remembered that happened. Then we're going to go over to the fridge. We're going to see if there's anything new in there since 10 minutes ago. After that, we're going to go on a YouTube spiral that starts with videos of Richard Feynman talking about magnets and ends much, much later with us watching interviews with Justin Bieber's mom. All of that's going to take a while, so we're not going to really have room on the schedule for any work today. Sorry. Now, what is going on here? The instant gratification monkey does not seem like a guy you want behind the wheel. He lives entirely in the present moment. He has no memory of the past, no knowledge of the future, and he only cares about two things: easy and fun. Now, in the animal world, that works fine. If you're a dog and you spend your whole life doing nothing other than easy and fun things, you're a huge success. And to the monkey, humans are just another animal species. He has to keep well slept, well fed, and propagating into the next generation. Which in tribal times might have worked okay. But if you haven't noticed, now we're not in tribal times. We're in an advanced civilization, and the monkey does not know what that is. Which is why we have another guy in our brain, the rational decision maker, who gives us the ability to do things no other animal can do. We can visualize the future. We can see the big picture. We can make long-term plans. And he wants to take all of that into account. And he wants to just have us do whatever makes sense to be doing right now. Now, sometimes it makes sense to be doing things that are easy and fun, like when you're having dinner or going to bed or enjoying well-earned leisure time. That's why there's an overlap. Sometimes they agree. But other times, it makes much more sense to be doing things that are harder and less pleasant for the sake of the big picture, and that's when we have a conflict.
There's no easy way out of this situation. It's going to take constant hard work, dedication, and a commitment to learning and constant improvement to overcome and to live this life of abundance that all of us was sent here by God to live. But we have to understand that we can't continue doing the same things. We can't continue saying that we want to live an easy life. Let me tell you something, right? The reason that we must begin to change our mindset is because that people that want to live their lives by being right or wrong will lie, cheat, and steal. What I mean by that is they did a study once before, and the study showed that doctors, lawyers, and I mean no disrespect to doctors and lawyers and accountants, were tested against low-level criminals in low-security prison. And the test concluded that the professionals lied more on the test than the inmates that had just been incarcerated and that was serving time. When you live your life to be right and wrong, it puts you in a compromising position. But when you live your life based on constant learning, constant improvement, and self-dedication, you'll begin to analyze all situations. You'll begin to learn from all situations, whether they're painful, whether they're hurtful or despiteful, things that you may have done. You'll be able to learn from it and grow from it. But trying to be right and wrong will just take you down the wrong path, and that's not the proper mindset. That's a fixed mindset, and what we're trying to do is get into a growth mindset. And we'll get into the actions and necessary for you to begin to grow your mind and take control of your mind and live a better life. We'll be back with more right after this. Why replace your roof when you can repair it? Call Built Right Roofing today at 844-277-7663. That's 844-277-7663. Come and experience the Built Right way at 844-277-7663. Congratulations on the purchase of your brand new home. And we couldn't be happier for you. But as soon as you moved in, you began to notice during the summer months, the attic began to get extremely hot, causing your home to get warm, making it uncomfortable. Plus, your electric bill began to rise, skyrocketing out of sight, costing you more money. I have a solution for you. Solaro Energy. Solaro Energy has a variety of products. Solar Shield for the attic, solar attic fans to take hot air out of the attic, plus Solar Day to bring in light into any area in your home, all costing you no additional money. Call Solaro Energy today at 888-355-5SUN or visit their website, solaroenergy.com. Solaro Energy, providing all of your future solar power energy.
Invest in Macedonia.com. www.inmacedonia.com. The future to connecting the world.
Do you have a ride on your way? Are you in the New York area? When you're stuck, call on NYC Taxi Ride Yellow and Green. We have two apps at your availability, www.waytoride.com or www.GOARRO.com. NYC Yellow Cab is ready for you. The best pork, barbecue, ribs, and chicken in the state of Florida. Don't believe it? Try it yourself. Call Bounce Back Barbecue at 561-307-4382. They also do catering. That's 561-307-4382.
Welcome back to the Hayden Russo Show on TalkZone.com.
Yeah. All right. Now, we have to begin to understand that none of this is going to happen overnight. Taking back our life is not going to happen overnight because we decided that we're going to wake up tomorrow and say, hey, I'm going to stop beating on my wife, or I'm going to stop hitting on a woman. Look, I told you guys, if you ever put your hands on anyone, you've lost. Okay? And if you're using fear and anger to try to control your family or your significant other, that's not a growth mindset. That's a fixed mindset. And what I'm saying to you guys, listen, Google what I'm saying to you. A fixed mindset, which is the left side of the brain, is a person that gets upset at everything. Why you get upset at everything? Because you don't have the answer. And if you don't have an answer and you get upset at something and you don't have an answer for that, then what you do, you begin to take it out on the person that's next to you. And 9 out of 10, that's your significant other. But you want to know what's funny? You won't take it out on your homeboy, though. You won't call him and go off on him. But you'll go off on the person that's closest to you, that's dependent on you. You'll take it out on them, and they need you. Okay? So if you're on your third marriage, don't blame the second or the first wife. Blame you. And be lucky and grateful that you had a third one that was willing to take you. Okay? So we have to begin to take full responsibility for our life. Make no excuses. Begin to understand that the man is the head of a farm. And what a farmer does is he protects the land, and he grooms the land, and he plants in the land, and he reinvests in the land, and he keep it watered and nurtured. That land is your brain. Whatever you plant in your brain, it will give you back what you asked for. Think about what I'm saying to you guys. If we said that we want to sleep, well, me at once upon a time, I said that I want to sleep with 1,000 women. And had it not been for my early incarceration, I was on track. I had maybe 170. I was pushing it. But then something changed. After incarceration, my mindset had changed. I wanted something different. I wanted more. I didn't want to just be sleeping with a woman, and then after you sleep with her because you don't have anything in common, you lay there for a few minutes, and then now you're trying to find your way how to exit. But then you know that it would be foul for you to get up and leave, because you never know if you'll have to come back as a backup plan to this girl or to this woman. Come on, guys. You know I'm talking to you. You know I'm telling you the truth. For you freaks that come out at night, you know what I'm talking about. The ones that you'll say you'll put a bag over their face. Yo, come on, baby. Come on. If we can do all of that, then we have time to spend quality time in improving our mind and improving our learning skills. Stop doing the easy things and begin to do the hard things. You know, begin to take baby steps in reading, because there's no way out of this if we're not going to read. I can't read. It's your fault. There's no need for me to read. Then your wife would always be smarter than you. And if you or your wife is not doing anything to further improve yourself, then your family will become stagnant, and you will become old, and you'll be like everyone else that just got married, and you learn a few things and you lived off the things that you learned for the rest of your life. And the jobs that you got, you'll keep those same jobs for the rest of your life. You won't try anything new or adventurous. You won't go after your dreams. You won't take any risks. You won't do anything but live a life of conformity. And what would that get you? 40 or 50 years living in the same house, doing the same thing, and getting the same results. So let's look how we begin to deal with this. We begin to praise mindset. We stop praising people for any accomplishment. I don't care if you're a billionaire. Don't praise the billionaire because he's a billionaire. Praise him for the hard work and the dedication. Ask him, what is his regimen? What is he doing every morning? How does he prepare every day? I get up every morning and I write down maybe 100 to 200 sentences a day in preparation to start my day on what I'm grateful for. I had someone to tell me today, hey, I am so grateful that I'm able to pay my taxes. I said, why are you grateful to pay taxes? Because I'm happy that God gave me the ability to earn enough money to pay all of my taxes, because I make up for the people that won't pay their taxes or cheating on their taxes. It's a different mindset. It's a different understanding of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay? And hanging out with your boys or watching TV. Oh boy, this one hurt. Or giving away all your money to the women in the strip clubs. Now, I do go to the strip club from time to time. But I have guys that have made it their life mission to spend every single ounce of their extra time in a strip joint. And I'm asking you, as a man, how is that benefiting your life? And there's this stereotype out there that rich folks are more successful and have happier families. Guys, let me tell you something. I've been blessed to see how they live too. And what I've seen, and this is not the same case for all parties, but I'm only speaking from the things that I've been exposed to. I'm finding a lot of single parents or single mothers with children, and the dad is not in the household. And he thinks that because he has gotten a divorce and his wife is in a nice house and she's not in a small little house or she's living in a gated community or what have you. When you abandon your marriage and you abandon the things that you're trying to accomplish, have you really accomplished your goals? It's easy for us to run away and end up 3 marriages later, or end up with mistresses that we have to take care of and then worry about if she's going to come and tell your wife or try to blackmail you in any shape, form, or fashion. Or because she's sucking you good. You staying with her because she's doing you good in bed, but she can't do anything to stimulate your mind. She has no growth. She has no growth potential. She has a fixed mindset. So, let's recap this thing here. We talked about understanding the mind and how it functions, and to get serious about your life. And there's no tomorrow. You do not want to be that person that's making that trip to God in that warehouse, then looking at all of those empty days in your life. Stop having empty days in your life. Stop procrastinating. Stop playing games with your life. This is serious. Begin to take baby steps. Stop standing still and not doing anything. Not doing anything is not going to solve anything at all. Not doing anything and turning away and ignoring the situation and not taking it head on because of fear is not going to do anything. And the only way to overcome the fear and the procrastination is to learn different techniques with your mind and to write down your goals and your affirmation and to begin to meditate. I hope that this show today has really helped you guys in understanding what it is to take control of your life. And to the guys taking it out on your significant other, or just because you can, you have all of these women, in the long run, what is that going to help you accomplish? And I'm not saying to you I wouldn't want to have want to have a Tesla for my wife or any mistress, but I'm glad that God kind of let me sow my oats a little early so that I can be the man I am today. But I'll tell you this, I'm going to tell you this real short story. A man is required to be the man of the house through thick and thin. Not to run away, not to go play video games, not to play childish games with ignoring your phones and playing little silly games with women. Be a man.